Hi, my name is Abdullah, and these are some workflow tips from my first edited project that I actually finished for a client. And these are some things that I actually learned while I was editing and some stuff that I wish I implemented on the project. So this will be very shortcut heavy, so I recommend you look in the description below and actually start typing and writing these down because these are very vital shortcuts that could actually save you hours in production. So the first one is Shift+1. That will take you to your project window, and the graph and the tilde or tilde key to actually maximize panel view. It's actually mouse based, so you can actually go to your timeline and do this, your program monitor and do this, and your source monitor, and you can do that as well. Let's press Shift+1 back here and press the tilde key. And I was working with a lot of bins. Organization is key to a healthy project. And let's, unload this. Let's untwirl this. Bins and bins are called sub bins and are very helpful as well in organization. I had stills, JPEGs, a title slide at the beginning, and I had titles as well. So you can definitely see the tilde key is very helpful because I can't even scroll down. It's actually unseeable. So tilde or the graph key. And if I want to close all this because I'm done viewing all of this, I would just click on the little swirl or twirl. And as you can see, it's still taking a very long time. And I get very confused sometimes by this. See, all of them are just different angles and stuff. So just to save yourself some time and headache, hold down the Alt or the Option key, and you'll either open or close everything. Let's go here, open. Now watch, Alt, click. You have just successfully opened and closed everything. So the next one I want to show you is actually a custom shortcut that I just created after I did my project. And as you can see, I have a lot of sequences based on, backup clips, or a rough cut, a section rough cut and stuff. And so let's say I want to create a new sequence based on my clip. Go to my media. Let's go to testimonials. And as you can see right here, it is 1280 by 720. Usually it will be dragged all the way over here on the corner. Just hold on to this and drag it left with your mouse. And you can see it's 1280 by 720. Usually people will just do this. They'll drag it here into the little sticky note and it will create a sequence. As you can see, it created a sequence. So back to Shift+1, tilde, and it'll create a sequence. Let's delete that and then we'll show you a different way. Press Control Alt or Command Alt, Command Option K or Control Alt K from Windows and search up sequence. SEQ will, do it. And you can see sequence from clip. I set that to Shift+N because there was nothing at Shift+N. Shift+N was clear, so I just press Shift+N, N for new. So just press cancel, and let's do it again. I have the clip highlighted, and Shift+N. As you can see, there you go. And it is 1280 by 720, and it is based on that clip. And I can actually press the Tab key and rename it as, let's say, SEW, for example, so, who knows, and then press Tab and Control-Shift-A. Oops, never mind, just do that. And you can actually just drag it to your SEQ folder. Let's say you want to see more metadata or more information, but you don't want to go to the meta logging tab because you don't have time for that and your project is due in like a couple hours. So you would just click on your clip and press Control-Shift+H, H for horoscope. And then you would see the file path, which is CBD project media. And then it's actually on my external hard drive. And then you would see the name of the clip, the wrapper or codec, what type it is, an MPEG movie, the file size, the image size, it is a 720p footage, the frame rate, the source audio format, project audio format, the duration, the pixel aspect ratio, and the VR projection if that's any important to you. And you can actually do the same to your sequence as well. So let's just do this. There we go. And then press Control-Shift+H or Command-Shift+H, backup sequence, 1280 by 720. There you go, 30 FPS, this, that, there you go, press X. And now let's talk about label colors and the importance of them. If it wasn't for label colors, my project would absolutely be disorganized and cluttered, even if I did my best to organize them as well. So as you can see from this bird's eye view, you can already tell what different sections of the clips contain. So for example, I know that this is basically essentially the take home lessons. There you go. And I can tell take home lessons ends after this, and the thoughts on programs rolls around. And then it's like a final thank you goodbye wrap up is this cyan blue color, or cerulean blue, I believe it's called in Premiere. And then the blue is like the games and stuff. And then the green is the title slide, and the pink is all of the default images. I can just tell that from a bird's eye view without even zooming in and even looking at it. As you can see, I can zoom in too with Shift equal sign and then Shift minus to actually just get to minimize all my view, and Shift equal sign to do that. And Shift minus, and I can press the backslash key to actually get everything in all view. So essentially the backslash key will just make everything just in your page. Essentially it'll just make that. So let's press Shift 1, and by the way, you can press Shift 2 to go to your source monitor, Shift 3 to go through your sequences, and Shift 4 for your program window, and Shift 5 for your effects control, which I did actually do a little bit of keyframe animation to this clip. So let's just press Shift plus for a second and press the arrow keys to go frame by frame, and press the D key, D for Dick, to select make sure your target and source are on. Press D, there you go, selects it, and then Shift 5 and Tilde or Groove to make it big. And there you go. I animated like a little zoom with keyframes. I eased in and eased out by selecting, right clicking, and I eased in and I eased out. It's essentially the opposite of what you think it is. I did that and it animated a little zoom. So let's go back to Shift. Let's go back to source monitor. And actually, this is a little complicated shortcut. You don't need to set this if you don't want to, but I'm going to show it to you anyways. It is, I believe I type a waveform. There you go. It is source monitor panel, an audio waveform, CTRL+Shift+W. And you have to go to our source monitor, CTRL+Shift+W. And it will show you the waveform. And this was so helpful to my project because sometimes you just want to extract when they say certain words. So you would just put your I for in and start there. And then when they end a certain word, you would just put like an out point. This was so helpful when I was setting markers. And if you want to put this back to composite video, let's press CTRL+K and then press composite. Nope, not comp. It was. There you go. If I can type properly. Yep, there you go. Composite video, CTRL+Shift+C. CTRL+Shift+C. And I use this quite rarely. I use CTRL+Shift+W quite a lot, but CTRL+Shift+C, I use it very rarely. You can also go to your wrench, I believe, and you can actually click on audio waveform, but I just find doing a shortcut to be much faster, especially when I'm jumping around from these windows and I'm just using a keyboard. Usually I just do that, and then you just get used to, using the keyboard for your shortcuts and stuff. And so another one I want to show you is essentially a very useful one that I learned after I was done my project. So Shift 1, Groove, and then I would essentially, let's go to my testimonials. You would click on one, go all the way down, hold down Shift and click. You would select everything from there. That I already knew before. And then I would press Shift O, O for open, and take everything in my source monitor. I already did that. I would go to this fly down menu and you would see everything is all in your source monitor. I believe your source monitor can take about 50 clips before it starts to reset everything. So you would click here. You would actually go to your sequence, your new one. And as you can see, I already did this. And you press your down key to go to your next edit point. And so click Shift 2. And I actually set a new shortcut for this. Let's go to sequence. No, it was not sequence. It was source clip. There you go. And so you see source clip next is CTRL+Shift+N. And so you press CTRL+Shift+N and it will take you to your next one. Make sure you have source patching here enabled before you do anything. And then you press that. And as you can see, another clip is set. Shift 2, CTRL+Shift+N. And then you press this key, CTRL+Shift+N. You press your period key for overwrite and your comma key for insert. So let's say I want to insert a clip in between this clip right here. So press Shift 2, CTRL+Shift+N, and then boom, there you go. Press Shift 3. And as you can see, this clip is inserted. It pushed this clip there without actually overwriting any of the contents. So press Shift 2, CTRL+Shift+N, and then press period. And there you go. You have approximately however many clips that you put in your source monitor. And you can check you have about 3 more clips left. And you can just keep doing this process. Shift 2, period. Let's actually do CTRL+Shift+N, press period, Shift 2. And you can even also press Shift 2 to go to your next one if you wish, but you can press period and then CTRL+Shift+N and finally period, and that's it. That is essentially, you can make your rough cut just by changing different in out points. You can change the in and out points and make your own rough cut that way if you want to. Press Shift 1, you can press Shift 2, go there, and you can essentially just do this. Press I to make your in point, press O, press Shift 3. You can press end to go to the end of your timeline and just press period. There you go, you can do that. And obviously, since this clip is in a different dimension, you want to know why is this like this? And I want to know what is the dimensions for the video. Press D to select your video and press CTRL+Shift+H. And you can see it is a MPEG movie, like it was before. And you can see it's 640 by 352. You right click and then you either do scale to frame size or you do set to frame size, and then you fix whatever you need to do. Scale to frame size, set to frame size. I'm not 100% sure what you should do just yet, but I did set to frame size and I made sure everything looked crystal clear before I submitted it. And then you press backslash and you have an overview or bird's eye view of essentially what you just did. So that is everything that I learned, and I actually decided to teach you guys as well and actually give you some tips. I know it was a cluster of tips and not something any beginner could learn, but I do recommend that you actually go to lynda.com or YouTube or, actually start using Premiere Pro for yourself and actually start to, do all these shortcuts. Press Shift 1 or just use the mouse and click around and, press Shift or equal sign and zoom in with ++ and use the razor tool. Although I do not like when people use the razor tool. Just press Ctrl+K and you can add like a cut. And you get this little ribbon here, by the way, by going to wrench and click on see through edits. That's how you get this little bow tie right over here. Just press Ctrl+K. Don't use the razor tool, although I'm saying you should use it when you first started out. The razor tool, I don't get why this tool even exists, but whatever. Press V to go to your selection tool. Start using Premiere Pro. Start moving everything around, and just start editing. Editing to me is just the best process of the whole post production and the production process. My name is Abdullah, and I'll make sure to put most, if not all, the shortcuts in the description below, so you can actually read it and hopefully implement and practice this, and hopefully it will help you in your workflow. See you guys.